You're listening to the Free to Be Mindful podcast, which provides bite-sized tips for busy parents, educators, and anyone working with kids. These real talk conversations focus on mindful living, mental health, and personal growth, helping all to learn, grow, and inspire with mindfulness in mind. I'm your host, Vanessa de Jesus Guzman, educator, licensed professional counselor, entrepreneur, and mom. I'm passionate about helping folks live life with peace of mind and ease of heart while not losing their, well, you know, here we go. Hello and welcome back to the Free to Be Mindful podcast. I hope that you're feeling good, looking good, and doing better in this world than you were yesterday. So on the day that this is being released, it is the first week of October. Insane. And the first week of October in the state of New Jersey, where I live, is called the Week of Respect. This was actually created in 2011, I believe, as part of an anti-bullying Bill of Rights. They created one of the strictest bullying laws in the entire nation. And it reminds me of when I worked in schools, I used to call the month of October Everything Month, because it seems that everything is celebrated during the month of October. And here's what I mean. The first week of October is Week of Respect, then it's Mental Illness Awareness Week, then School Bus Safety Week, then it's School Violence Awareness Week, and then we cap it off with Red Ribbon Week. It's really tough to kind of keep them all straight after some time. And if you have young children, or if you yourself work in schools, especially in the state of New Jersey, you know by the end of the month of October, you have stomped out bullying, you have socked it to violence, and you have teamed up against drugs. What I mean by that, stomped out to bullying, you wear boots that day, socked it to violence, you wear crazy sock day, and teamed up against drugs, everybody wears sports team jerseys. Just a fun way to kind of celebrate all of the everything month in the month of October. But going back to how we start the month of October with the Week of Respect, it's really interesting because it's obvious when we talk about respect in a school that we're talking about respecting others and respecting the school, respecting your teachers. And it reminds me of when I was a teacher, I actually only had 3 classroom rules, and they were respecting others, which again, pretty obvious, respecting your space, and respecting yourself. And that was it. Any rule that you can think of falls under those 3 categories. Think about it. Be kind to others, respect others. Pick up after yourself, respect your space. Do your best in everything you try, respect yourself. Any rule that you can think of can fall under those 3 categories. And it's really interesting that to kids, we talk about respect all of the time, right? That's usually number 1 in all of the rules across classrooms, K through 12, we can say. But as adults, we don't really talk about it. It's almost implied that we would respect each other. Although if we're honest, it doesn't really always happen. But not only should we focus on respecting other people, how often do we really talk about respecting ourselves? Yeah, I wish that was more of a focus in school of how to respect oneself along with respecting others and respecting our spaces. And we don't want it to be or live in a space of feeling entitled. But even as adults, we don't really sometimes do a great job of respecting ourselves. And that's part of the conversation that I really wanted us to focus today, to review all of the ways that we can show respect to ourselves so that it can serve as a reminder today or the next time you listen to this episode after you save it, because you're gonna want to save it, so that you can remind yourself how to be kind to yourself and all of the things that do fall under the umbrella, under the category of respecting yourself. So here we go. First, be curious. Get to know yourself. You have so much to offer. And depending on what stage of your life you're in, you have seen already that you have different things to offer and you develop different abilities and different mindsets, different points of view, depending on the stage of life that you're in. So try out different activities, try out new things, even if they don't float your boat. Be kind to yourself. Set goals and target areas for self improvement because we're always learning and growing, and really see how much you can achieve. The next is be comfortable with being by yourself. Sometimes, especially when we're younger, or maybe even when we're older, we jump from relationship to relationship instead of dating ourselves and finding out new things about ourselves and being on our own from time to time. Have your own hobbies and know that if you are with a partner or a spouse, it is totally okay, acceptable, and welcome to have hobbies that you do on your own. Next, stay true to who you are. Accept yourself as you are, even though we're always improving and learning and growing. Know what you like, understand your personalities, develop your own hobbies, embrace yourself for who you are today, not who you'll be when you get the dream job or the dream car, not who you'll be when you lose those 20 pounds. Love yourself for who you are today. Makes such a huge difference in life. Also, stop trying to keep up with the Joneses or the Kardashians for that matter. Be you. Be confident in who you are and where you are in life. And know that your chapter isn't going to look the same as someone else's chapter or even someone else's book for that matter. Know your worth. And some things just aren't worth your time. And if it's not worth your time or energy, don't do it. Also, when receiving a compliment, leave the butts at the door. If someone gives you a compliment, know your worth and just say thank you. Set boundaries for the things that are not for you. And sometimes that goes for the people that are not for you or who are no longer for you. It's okay to respect your energy and protect your energy from things that don't serve you well. Honor your feelings and express them appropriately and respectfully, of course. It's not possible or realistic to be happy all the time. If you're feeling sad or angry, it's okay to be in your feelings of anger or sadness. Honor your feelings, make space for them, and then let them go. And although it's okay to express those feelings, especially those that we dub as negative, in the same breath, I'll also say have a positive attitude. And what I mean by that is develop a growth mindset so that you're not considered a Debbie Downer looking at life negatively all the time, because there is really so much good in the world. Speak kindly to yourself. Trust me, your brain is listening in there. Also, make time for self love and for self care. Learn how to make yourself feel good as opposed to waiting for someone else to give you a compliment or waiting for someone else to buy you a bouquet of flowers. Buy your own flowers just because. Let go of the expectations you may have on others and make it happen for you. Respect your body by staying active. We only get one body to live in. So think about how you treat yourself. Think about the things that you consume that you're putting into your body or doing to your body, and do what you feel is best for it. Define your values. Like the song from Hamilton says, if you stand for nothing, what will you stand for? Really think about the things that are important to you and do things and make choices that support those thoughts and those values. Give yourself grace. Don't beat yourself up for the mistakes you make because mistakes are just part of life and they're also how we learn. So forgive yourself for those mistakes, for judgments, for the past. Even when things are heavy, you can acknowledge them and then let them go. Also, let go of any harsh criticism, that negative Nancy voice that lives inside your head, regardless of who it belongs to, whether it be your own voice, perhaps a parent's voice, or maybe the voice of an instructor or teacher who did not lift you up. Kick it out of your brain and let it go. And lastly, follow your dreams. Take risks. Don't always play it safe. Of course, make good decisions and good choices, but remember that we only get one shot at this thing called life. Believe in yourself because you deserve it. And these are all things that we know. These are all messages that if we have our own kids or if we work with kids, that we try to instill in them. But it seems that somewhere along the way, we kind of lose that and we forget to instill it for ourselves. So if you need to, you can listen to this episode again and take some notes. Or if you need to, be sure to save it so that on those days where you need a pick me up, on those days where you need to lift yourself up, you can take that time, honor your feelings, pick yourself up, and then keep it moving. As always, it is my pleasure, and I'd love to know which one of these tips resonated for you the most. Feel free to take a screenshot of this episode and tag me on Instagram at Counselor V de Jesus and let me know which one you either like the best or perhaps which one you need to work on a little bit more. Thanks again, and I invite you to join me for this short guided meditation. So, right now, regardless of where you are or what you're doing, I invite you to take a breath in and picture air, whatever color you want to give it. Picture this circle of color go into your body through your nose as it fills your body, and then see it flow out of your mouth as you exhale. As you continue to breathe in and out, picture this bubble or cloud, whatever color you see, the air coming into and out of your body. And think about how that air does you good, what it does for your mental state, and what it does for your physical state. With those thoughts and with your continued breaths, now think about the other aspects of self-respect that may do you good. What are you missing? What do you need a little more of? What are the steps you can take today to show yourself some love, some self-care, some grace, and self-respect, because you truly are worthy and deserve it. Have a great week. I hope you enjoyed this week's show. It would mean a ton if you took this moment to review the Free to Be Mindful podcast on the platform you catch your favorite shows. That quick and easy act lets me know what you enjoy, and it helps others find the podcast too. And of course, don't forget to subscribe so you can listen along next week. In the meantime, I welcome you to catch me on social media at Counselor V de Jesus. And as always, remember, in a world where you are free to be anything that you want to be, you are always free to be mindful. Catch you next week.